The United Nations and the Sri Lankan government have been at loggerheads recently. The UN Children's Fund media chief has had his visa cancelled, and 2 other United Nations workers remain imprisoned. Now a high-level UN envoy has arrived, aiming to tackle issues that are isolating Sri Lanka from the international community. Lynn Pascoe will take up critical issues with the Sri Lankan government, among them the resettlement of tens of thousands of Tamil civilians who are still living in government-run camps 4 months after the end of the bitter war.
The UN has been working very closely and been trying to help with the whole question of the refugees, the IDPs and the others. And I think in that process there is concern about the speed at which some of that they return. There is also views about how the political structure will move forward at some point in the future.
The last stages of the 26-year-old conflict were bloody. The parallel propaganda war saw both sides trading allegations of abuse and the willful targeting of civilians. With the Tigers defeated, allegations of human rights abuses have continued to hound the government, an issue the UN says it will take up. The UN officials' visit will follow up on agreements made between the Sri Lankan president and the visiting UN Secretary General, who visited when fighting ended in May. Human rights activists say accountability is key on the road to recovery.
It's important now to look at what happened in the past and move forward. And this is what we really need, a proper mechanism, an independent mechanism to address what's happened in the past.
Mr. Pascoe is expected to visit IDP camps and areas where displaced civilians have been allowed to return before he meets the president and other representatives of his government. The Sri Lankan government has met all recent criticism with a robust response. The UN official's visit is obviously organized in cooperation with the government, but as to whether it achieves anything the government doesn't want to remains to be seen. Binel Fernandez, Al Jazeera, Colombo.